Welcome in everybody to another edition of Friday Night Review, and tonight we have a full house. Tonight we're doing a special episode. We're going to do week in review. We're going to be talking about our favorite moments from Monday Night Raw, our favorite moments from SmackDown, and then we're going to give our predictions for Survivor Series tomorrow night. First, let me introduce the crew that we got. Start with the regular host on our show, Friday Night Review. We got Cam G. How we doing? Then we have the other regular host who likes to grace us for his presence on a partial occasion. That would be Jamie.
Hey, just call me a part-timer. It's all right. It's all right. But when the hateful is in the space, it always calls for a damn good time. Salud.
Jamie's a special attraction.
Attraction?
Wheels is a special attraction. He's here like once a year.
Wow.
He's here like once a year. So
I was literally here a month ago.
And then we have the person who fills in for me when I cannot make it, Metalcore Mike. How's everybody doing tonight?
Because I'm disabled doesn't make me a special attraction.
I didn't say you were. You're the one that brought that up.
I know. Touche.
What's going on, Al? Oh, look. Al has her favorite emoji because we are on Twitter today. So she is very happy with that.
So inappropriate. So inappropriate.
Oh, you mean the
wieners?
Dickosaurus?
Yeah, I mean, kids can be watching this show, you know.
I mean, that's on them. But
it is after 10 o'clock, you know. So
they
Mike,
should be bad.
Is there
Not Central Time?
You want to start it off with the Monday Night Raw part of the stream, since we're going to start and go in order for the week?
Yeah, let's get into it, guys. Normally, well, as y'all know, me and Cam are the hosts on the table spot every Monday night, right after Monday Night Raw. And how we kind of do things is we pick our 3 top moments from Monday Night Raw, our personal favorite moments from Monday Night Raw. How we're doing things tonight is we're each going to be picking our favorite moment from Monday Night Raw tonight. So without further ado, let's get into it. And Scout, since you're the host here on Friday Night Review, let's start with you.
I wasn't ready yet. Hold on.
You weren't ready yet? Then we'll go over to Cam. Let's start with you, my co-host over on the table spot every Monday night. Your favorite moment from Monday Night Raw this past Monday night?
That's I really don't know. That's rough. From SmackDown, if I give my SmackDown one instead. My favorite moment from this past SmackDown, though, I would say, well, obviously, I think was the Bloodline segment. You know, Paul coming back, and then of course, you know, the 5th member being CM Punk. I think that was pretty cool. That was. I mean, what a pop too! Like that was that was crazy. So I think that was my favorite moment from SmackDown. Raw, I have no idea. I don't know. These past couple of Raws have been kind of rough. So
yeah,
if I'm being honest.
Okay. I mean, go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry. I thought he was done.
No, I was gonna say no. I agree with Cam. I mean, the past couple Monday nights. I mean, 2 weeks ago we did a Monday Night Fun night where we just basically ran down Raw of a whole just because of the way the show went, and it's understandable. We're getting towards the end of 2024. We're getting to the point where shows are being recorded. We know every other week it's recorded. And even with the pay-per-views, we're getting close to the end. We have our last one coming up in 2024. So, I mean, I'll give my moment from Raw. If that's cool.
Yeah, go ahead.
My moment was from Raw is the announcement of the Women's Intercontinental Championship. You guys know I'm a very big advocate for women's wrestling. And I'm excited to see that Raw's getting the Intercontinental title and SmackDown is getting the United States Championship, obviously. So I'm excited about that and the New Day segment. I'm not big on
one segment. One.
Okay, fine. I'll stick with the Women's Intercontinental title, and that's.
And I wouldn't have said anything if you weren't stealing my segment that I was just going to talk about.
Go for it.
The New Day, after the match, and how everything transpired, going from the ring back through Gorilla, into the back area, with them going back and forth with the most absolute real things they were saying. They pulled no No
punches
stops,
at all.
nothing. That was like the most real segment you can have between those two.
Yeah,
That was
with
my
no
favorite.
H watching his employees fight is really funny.
I
They
mean,
walked right past him.
Yeah,
He could have
it's
waved.
like-
with no pun intended, it was really just Raw. I mean, these guys have been together for 10 years and we're getting their celebration next week. And just everything that happened between them was just, like I said, I'm not a big fan of breaking up established tag teams because we know how the tag team division, it's
Oh,
building
we
up,
know about that.
but how the tag team division has been these past couple years, it's like they're finally starting to build it up. And to break up one of your most established tag teams like yearly, and I mean, they're one of the most decorated tag teams in this era. So to break them up when you can build off of them with the other tag teams you're trying to build up, I find it kind of, not smart to do, but have to see where it goes.
The thing of it is, they're not doing anything with tag teams on Raw.
Yeah.
They're not really gonna build them and do anything with them on Raw. But make no mistake about it, they're not just breaking them up, or they wouldn't be breaking them up for just nothing. You know what I mean? Like they're going to do right by both of them. I do believe, because of their work as a tag team for so long.
Wheels, do you got a moment from Raw?
Speaking of tag teams, it's actually the LWO versus American Made match.
Mhm.
That match was phenomenal, and I loved the finish because they did something different with the mask. Usually, when they do something with Ray's mask, it's someone trying to take it off. The sleight of just them moving it so he can't see was actually super genius and very different. And American Made is looking really good. The Creed brothers are looking really good as a tag team.
And again, that's what I mean is you're trying to build these tag teams up, and whether they do it or not, again, it's everybody's personal preference on how they feel about the New Day, but
So
that's the point right there.
piggybacking off of that is now that they have more established tag teams that they are building in the division, it's the perfect time to do the breakup. Because you have American Made, you have American Alpha, you have the War Raiders back, you have the Judgment Day. So they are having more tag teams in the division to where now would be the perfect time to split them up so we can get a heel heel Woods and then a babyface Kofi. And I like it could just build and go from there.
Jimmy,
The
you know,
LWO. Yeah, you said American Alpha, which they haven't been a tag team in like
American
6
Alpha,
years.
American Made. You get it mixed
They
up.
still come out with the American Alpha theme
No.
and the name.
Jimmy,
So
you got a moment from Raw?
pay attention.
Yeah, my moment from Raw was the backstage segment with the Wyatt Six attacking the locker room and Karrion Kross and Scarlett. I think Miz being in there adds a different flair to it, gives it some credibility. I know that's wrong to say. I'm a big Karrion Kross fan, always been since his NXT days. Actually, before that, when he was in Lucha Underground with Paul London and El Bonarino. But with this Wyatt Six and the Final Testament
What up, Nate?
feud, like it keeps building and building and building. I know it's a slow burn, like put it in the slow cooker type burn, but like for when it eventually boils over, it's gonna hit like crack, and it's some of the best stuff that Karrion Kross has been doing, especially what he's been doing on social media, on the WWE exclusives. Like he's been going to a different level with his promos. He's been taking stuff that like he's using stuff from even when Bray was still with us. Like that's next level stuff, and I can see it. And he's smiling down on both of these groups. And, like that's really cool, not just for everyone involved in that, but for the fans also. Like I listened to, Chris Van Vliet interviewing Karrion Kross, like I think like a month ago or something. And, he'll straight up tell you, like, the fans expect for me to be just tearing through people, but he has different stories that he's telling. And these stories are fantastic. It's not all about wins and losses in this, and he is the perfect example of that. And just for him to keep proving that on a weekly level, like, I'm excited for that. Like, you can call me a glazer all you want. This is good stuff.
No, I mean, me and Cam talk about it on every Monday night. We pretty much praise Karrion Kross almost every Monday night on the Table Spot. We do. I mean, he's doing great work, and Cam can even back me up on this.
Okay.
I'm excited for this rivalry between these two groups because I've been looking forward to it since the draft.
Yeah.
I've been literally calling for this to happen since the draft. So for us to get it now, I really want to see them. Me personally want to see them kind of slow burn this and see what type of levels they can take this between these two groups.
And they have been for a while. And the thing about it is that, like, this is only the beginning of it.
Yes.
What's going on, Will? How are we doing tonight? I agree with you on this sentiment. If a parent is letting their child watch this at this time, that is all on them.
That's it. I think Oh, go ahead.
What?
I was going to say, I think we got everybody's Raw moment
then. We did. But Karrion Kross has been one of my favorite since he has come back. After he was in NXT, I loved how they did him down there. They did him dirty by his first call-up. But ever since Triple H brought him back and he was doing all the different things, and he was essentially turning into a form of Bray Wyatt in what he was doing, where he changes people after he fights them. And then he formed the Final Testament, and now it's a full-fledged, complete change. And this is the Karrion Kross that everybody should have seen from the beginning. And I felt we got missed out on so much with him. This is what I've been trying to show everybody what he can do. And now I'm just glad that everybody else is seeing it as well. And if you're not following him on Twitter, do so, because if you are missing out on
phenomenal
more built
stuff
in this story.
And if you praise him and tell him how great of a job he's doing, he follows you back.
Yeah, you all joined the fan club after I had a follow for the last couple months from him.
So, I think one of my favorite like not on screen moments, something that we get like backstage on social media, is when Scarlett told him, like, don't try and force anything or push anything. Let things just happen. Don't get worked up. Don't get upset, because everything will come to you. And that's what it seems like is happening in this storyline, is everything is just coming the way he wants things to happen, which is really awesome to see. So, yeah, Karrion Kross is doing just such a great job.
So that's our Raw segments. Let's over to SmackDown. Cam, you already mentioned yours. Just rehash it for everybody so we know what it was that your favorite part of SmackDown was.
So yeah, my favorite SmackDown moment was obviously, Paul Heyman coming back, and then, the fifth member being CM Punk. I think that was just like a 1-2 punch, and it was a great moment. Crazy pop from the crowd too. I mean, they pretty much tore the roof off that place when CM Punk's music hit. So that was a pretty good moment.
Are we talking about last week's SmackDown or this week's?
No, this one.
Okay. Tonight's SmackDown.
Mike, what was yours?
Yeah, I mean, my favorite moment was the sit down between Roman Reigns and CM Punk. It was. I mean, we were watching it off air here tonight, and I asked you guys which one was better, the Cody one or the CM Punk one, and you guys said the CM Punk one, and I highly agree, because there was more to this one. The Cody one, there was really, it was a to be continued at the end of that, to where this is what's got to happen, and we have something else following it up after Saturday. So I'm kind of anxious to find out what we're getting after Saturday now, because Paul Heyman really got me thinking, like, what could it be?
Mm-hmm.
Don't trust that man.
Wheels?
My favorite part of SmackDown tonight was the women's triple threat match. Lash Legend, Piper Niven, Michin. Again, it showed off that Piper Niven and Michin are two of the best wrestlers on the roster, which I've been saying for years. And it showed that Lash Legend in maybe a year or two can be a main event star. She really has been proving herself on SmackDown.
To go from having a little segment in NXT where she was doing backstage segments with other female wrestlers to this type of wrestler
But
in
no,
a 2-year span is
So
nothing
good.
short of amazing.
yeah. So again, that triple threat match, we were watching it at the same time as the TNA 2 out of 3 falls match, and I was going back and forth, and I was like, this is a lot of great women's wrestling happening right now.
She's going to be called up to the main roster soon. I just have a feeling with that.
I think that whole faction is. They should be.
Yeah, I think they're waiting for Noam Dar to come back from injury before they do that, though. Jamie?
I didn't watch SmackDown, but I did listen to the Paul Heyman and CM Punk sit down. All I'm gonna say is I'm ready for War Games. I am. I've been so excited for it, but this has me so hyped for a one-on-one matchup between these two. As everyone knows, CM Punk is my favorite all time. Roman Reigns, the greatest world champ of the last, decade. Before that, CM Punk had a run of his own. Nothing like Roman's, but a run of his own. So to see the two greatest WWE champions of the last, say, 12 years, give or take, to see them really go at it, like I'm pumped for that. So, but if I was to, I'm going to go back and watch a match of this, and I think if I'm going to watch any, it's going to be Jey Uso versus Jacob Fatu.
That was a really good match. So. My favorite moment of the night, Shinsuke's entrance. His new music.
Is it
his
good?
New entrance.
Is really fire.
The entrance is amazing. The match that followed it with Andrade, really good as well. But the entrance just captivated you, and it made you believe that Shinsuke is now a top star again. Like, the entrances that they've come out with recently for WWE, Jacob Fatu's, Solo Sikoa's, now Shinsuke's, they've stepped up their game with what they're doing with these entrances to make people look like superstars. I can tell he's listening to it because there's a remix of his music now, and it's a fire version of it. Mike, you look like you want to say something.
I do. The match tonight between Shinsuke and Andrade was a really good match. It was. This Shinsuke character is definitely stepping it up and taking this to a whole new level for Shinsuke Nakamura, especially at this stage of his career. I'm going to comment while we were watching SmackDown, and like I said, people are going to disagree with me, and that's okay. But I think Shinsuke Nakamura coming back as this character, this could be a very powerful character. And I know we're kind of away from the day and age of when you're bringing in a new character or building a character up again to where they're not facing, like talent that helps superstars get to that level. But I think Shinsuke Nakamura definitely should have faced another competitor and should have won this match within 2-3 minutes just to get this character built up and get it going, because this, I think, can be the best version of Shinsuke Nakamura we've ever gotten.
I can agree with that.
Was straight gas.
Yeah.
What Mike just said, I agree with. That entrance, cold.
Yeah.
The only thing I have about it is let's black those lights out a little bit and get a full essence of Shinsuke Nakamura. It's the only thing I have. That was
he reminds me of a Sith Lord now. Like, he reminds me of Anakin when he's in that with his hair all wet and he's just turning to the dark side. Like, that's what he reminds me of.
I mean, he's channeling Pro Wrestling Noah Great Muda.
Mhm.
Yes.
Very good call there. Anything else that you want to touch on SmackDown before we head into our predictions for Survivor Series tomorrow?
Nah, let's bring it.
And here's
Giants
Shadow.
suck, but other than that, we're good.
You're an idiot, Shadow.
Oh,
You're an idiot.
Woo!
All right.
And I talked about Al being inappropriate.
God.
Poor Cam. All right. So, Survivor Series tomorrow night. 5 matches on the card. You have the U.S. Championship. You have the Intercontinental Championship. You have the World Heavyweight Championship. And then you have Women's War Games and Men's War Games. What match do we want to start with?
Let's start with the U.S. title.
So, U.S. title we have is LA Knight versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Wheels.
I have Shinsuke.
I have Shinsuke.
Cam.
I've got LA Knight winning.
Mike.
I'm going to go with Shinsuke Nakamura. I think this is a great stepping stone for this character. I got to go Shinsuke.
I think he's going to take it too. I think it just makes sense with what they've done with him coming back. The only thing I don't like about it is he got over LA Knight tonight. And that's normally the precedent that the person who is challenging loses. But we'll see if
He
things
could lose
change
by
that.
DQ, causing a rematch.
I was thinking that same thing.
But I am gonna. What? Shadow. Maybe you should not make them mad.
All right. Intercontinental Championship. This one has Braun Breaker versus Ludwig Kaiser versus Sheamus. Mike, you can start off this one.
I'm going to go with Braun Breaker retaining this. I think with this being his second run with the Intercontinental title, it's definitely got to be a lot longer than the first one. I got to go with Braun Breaker to retain.
Jamie?
Breaker. I don't think Sheamus gets the moment quite yet.
No.
Wheels?
Braun Breaker.
Cam?
Braun Breaker. I definitely agree with what Shadow said, though. I think Ludwig is there just to take the pin.
And I think Sheamus is going to be the one doing it so that Braun doesn't get the loss. I think Sheamus gets his moment and becomes a Grand Slam champion. World Heavyweight Championship. Gunther versus Damian Priest. Wheels, you start this one off.
I have Damian Priest.
Wow.
Jamie?
For that bad boy right there, give me the ring, yeah.
Cam?
I'm taking Gunther.
Mike?
Yeah, I'm going with Gunther retaining as well.
That's actually a good call, Shadow. I do like that. But I'm going to go with Gunther. I don't think Gunther loses the belt just yet.
Or let me spitball here. Let me cook. Finn Balor cost Priest the match. Balor has a match with Gunther on the Saturday night's main event. Balor beats Gunther, and then they feud again.
I mean, they kind of. I mean, the whole Finn costing Damian, they kind of already did that.
Well,
yeah.
Right, but
I was just
I
gonna say,
I wouldn't want to go back to the well in that twice. That's just me.
I mean, but if it's the world title, it might.
what if Finn is the one that helps Damian get the belt by accidentally costing Gunther,
If it's accidental, I can see it, but if it's
Yeah.
and
on
then
purposeful,
it sets
no.
up the match between Priest and Balor at Saturday Night Main Event.
Or heck, you could have
If
Ludwig.
he,
cost
I
Gunther.
agree with Mike. Like if he inadvertently ends up helping, Priest win the championship, then okay. But if he does it on like purposefully, that's not going to make any sense.
Can
at
I
all.
can I mention why I think it's going to be Gunther retaining?
Yeah.
Okay. So and again, if you guys disagree with me, I'm cool with it. But
You don't need to say that every time, Mike.
I know I don't. But the way Gunther's reign has been going so far, I mean, how they've been storylining it. He faced Randy Orton. That story built around the King of the Ring situation with the shoulder up. He's facing Damian Priest. Last time they were in the ring, Gunther won the title. Finn Balor cost Damian Priest the title. Okay, and I hate saying this, but it's almost been like a cleanup situation with Gunther's reign so far. Like these little situations that are happening between Gunther. I mean, Sami Zayn. He lost to Sami Zayn at Mania. Now he beat Sami Zayn defending the world title. I think Gunther needs to retain this championship and get into a rivalry with somebody where he didn't have anything happen, and it can be a fresh, clean start of a storyline. That's why I think Gunther needs to retain and finally get him to where he's not facing somebody he's already lost to or something has happened with.
Who would that be?
Wow. I mean, that's a good
Bronson
question.
Reed.
I mean, Bronson Reed would be the next
Sardine flavor.
I'm with Cam on that. Bronson Reed would probably be the closest. Yeah. With how on fire Bronson Reed is right now? Yeah.
Drew?
True.
Drew
Yeah.
McIntyre. I mean, yeah.
Drew's supposed to be returning soon.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see where Drew's at when he comes back.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Seth?
throw him in the main event immediately.
I mean,
So
Seth
I'm gonna
Seth
take
would
the
be a
brakes on
good
that
one. Seth would be a good one too. I mean, I'm kind of with Cam on that of throwing Drew in there right away. Something is telling me that I know we got the end of the storyline between him and CM Punk at Bad Blood, but something's telling me that rivalry is like quite not.
It's
fit.
done. You could see it with everything that he's doing right now, because what he's doing is going to help further his storyline versus Seth.
Yeah.
Because we're getting Seth versus Punk at Mania.
Oh yeah. No, I agree with that. But I mean, like, I can definitely see us getting, like, if Drew McIntyre were to come back before, let's say, like, Saturday Night Main Event, get CM Punk and Drew on Saturday Night Main Event one more time.
Okay. What if he shows up in Survivor Series and costs Priest the match? Because Priest took it off of him.
Yeah.
Sorry,
No, you're good. I think if Drew McIntyre's coming back for anybody, it's probably gonna be Seth Rollins.
Shadow, if that were to happen, I'm turning my TV off. I promise you.
Oh God.
I would disown wrestling. I'd be an AEW fan.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I couldn't even do that to myself.
No comment.
Okay, so I know
Women's War Games. Is that where you're going?
No, that's not.
Okay, then go ahead. Sorry.
The stupidest spot I have ever seen in my life is when you have someone on the ropes. You run the rope. You elbow them. They run the rope. They elbow you. You run the rope. You elbow them. And it goes on and on again. That is the stupidest freaking spot ever. And it needs to be stopped. It makes everyone in that situation look stupid. Okay, that's my TED Talk. Women's War Games.
I don't know what you're referring to, but okay, sir.
I know what he's referring to. I do. Because it's AEW has a tendency of doing continuous moves like the chops and everything like that.
Just watch the Jamie Hayter match last night. Or the night before.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a feeling that was the match you were talking about.
And that's the thing. I'm a fan of Jamie Hayter. But that spot, horrendous.
Yeah.
Like, I want to
The worst version of Becky Lynch? The worst version?
I wish people
British
would
one,
stop
anyways.
saying that. I don't see any comparison.
You don't see it?
No, there
How do you not
isn't
see
one.
How do
Other
you
than
outfits
orange
and the
hair,
red-
there's no comparison outside.
The
of that.
outfits
Why
and
do
the red
people keep
hair
saying that?
is
That's
why
all
you
there
see-
is.
Yeah.
If we're
Go
talking
back to-
wrestling, Jamie Hayter's far better than Becky Lynch. Let's not go there.
Whoa.
Is she not?
Yeah, she's
Becky
not.
Lynch is not that great. Let's be honest here. Come on, she's average.
We're about to start a fight on FNR, and I want to roll away.
Bring it.
really
Roll
quick.
Tide,
I'm
baby. Let's
spitting
go.
facts, yo. She's not
First
really all
off.
that. She's not. She's not.
Oh,
She's average at best. If you're gonna try to tell me a Becky Lynch is
Wow.
better than Jamie Hayter, that's crazy. And I'm gonna need you to get your brain examined, sir. Let's not go there. Anyways, war games. Let's talk about it.
I don't
in the 4 shows I've done with Cam,
I don't get it. I don't get where you think she's better than her. I don't get it.
I've done like
You
5
don't
shows.
see, you don't see how I think Jamie Hayter is better than Becky Lynch?
No, not at all.
Wow.
Jamie
that's
Jamie
crazy.
Hayter has done nothing.
I'm talking
in
I'm
AEW.
talking in ring. What are you talking about?
She's done nothing.
I'm not talking accolades. I'm talking in ring.
She's done nothing. That women's division is horrible.
That's not her fault.
That's
Right.
not-
You're only as good as
What?
your opponents. If you don't have good people in the ring with you, it doesn't make you look good.
I'm
To
talking
me, she
in
is
ring.
not that great in ring.
Yeah,
Becky
well, then
looks better to me than Jamie Hayter does in ring.
I don't see what
And
Becky
Becky
does
has
better than
proven
Jamie Hayter. When? Where? NXT? Maybe. Big time Becky Lynch was horrible.
So
I don't
hated
care
the
what
you hated the gimmick. That's
was
not her
horrible.
in ring though.
No, her in ring was horrible too. It wasn't that great. It wasn't that great.
I think
It was a lot of fluff.
I think one of the opening things with this debate, though, is when you look at a Becky Lynch match and you compare it to a Jamie Hayter match, is you watch AEW and the women get between 6.5 to 10 minutes to work in the ring. And that's not only on TV, but on pay-per-views. When you look at WWE, they give women a substantial amount of time on pay-per-views. On TV, they get about 10, 11 minutes. But on pay-per-view, they'll get up to like 15, 20. So
We just
you're
had the
able to
longest
see
women's
more.
match in AEW history at this last pay per view with Mercedes Moné and who did she wrestle?
You just said it was the
Statlander.
longest one in AEW history.
Yes, it
And
was
that's-
19 minutes and 30 seconds.
And that's the point, is the AEW women don't get much time. So Jamie Hayter, the work that she puts in, she has to do that everything that they have to put in has to be done very quickly, because you add in the entrances plus the match, they get a combined time of 10, 12 minutes max.
I just talked about
Well,
stuff that everybody does.
For WWE, they get a substantial amount of time on pay-per-view, but on TV, it's hit or miss when they get their time.
This is.
This is awesome.
I'm entertained. I want to be on FNR way more often.
Let's make it happen, dude.
No, this doesn't normally happen on FNR. It only happens when random conversations like what Jamie brought up gets brought up.
Yeah, but
I'm
random
very confused
conversations
on how
turned
this
into about
started,
3
actually.
random conversations. So
All right.
Rip's team versus Rhea's team, women's war game.
thank you.
I tried to get it back on track.
You did.
Oh,
All right. Wheels. What do you got for
Uh,
women's war game?
Team Liv.
Jamie?
To tell you that I cared would be an overstatement. There could have been something more with this match. I just think it was kind of thrown together, but give me the Rhea team. Why not?
So I will agree with you that it should have been built up better, and it was kind of thrown together.
I'm not into it. That's no disrespect to them. I'm just not into it.
The last couple shows have done a good job at making it make sense a little bit.
Yeah, I give them that, but it's too late.
Correct. This should have been a traditional 5-on-5 Survivor Series match. Is what it should have been, not War Games.
Agreed.
You should have had Wyatt 6 and Final Testament in a War Games match.
That would have been lit.
And now you could have done mixed because it's 5-for-5.
My original idea was having a first ever traditional Survivor Series match where it could have been Judgment Day, like Liv Morgan and the guys from the Judgment Day taking on Rhea Ripley, Damian Priest, and partners of their choice, and the first time ever having like a mixed traditional Survivor Series elimination match.
That either.
That would have worked.
That was my original idea before they made the women's War Game match. But honestly, guys, I think they kind of built this up in a small sense, because if you look at it, they're kind of intertwining all the storylines that are happening between the women. Like Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley, their storyline is kind of twined into this. Nia Jax and Liv Morgan having their match at Crown Jewel, like that wasn't much of a buildup, but there was a little bit of storytelling to it. So they kind of intertwined everybody's storyline with adding in women that weren't necessarily involved just to make it a 5-on-5. So I think they had a little bit of storytelling. I don't think it was completely thrown together.
Nia, Tiffany, and Candice all together.
Their storyline
Naomi
involved. There is
and Bailey now.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of storytelling. They just kind of it's almost taking you back to the days like the 90s, like the Attitude Era. You go to Raw, and a Raw storyline would continue over on SmackDown, and then they would take storyline from SmackDown, go back to Raw, or Sunday Night Heat would be involved. Like, storylines intertwined in all the shows, and they're kind of doing that with this match. I'm going with Team Rhea, by the way, and I think Tiffany Stratton finally cashes in that Money in the Bank on Nia Jax and wins the title.
Cam?
I'm going with Team Rhea for sure.
I have Team Liv winning. I just think that you're gonna have the implosion of the other team because of what happened with Jade. They're gonna start blaming each other, and that's gonna be the downfall of that team. Men's War Games.
Wait, did Wills get the say his pick?
Yeah,
he started it.
Okay.
That was the first, and then
He picked Liv Morgan's team.
yeah, I did. Team Liv.
Oh, that's why I didn't pay attention.
Man.
Who wants to start off the Men's War Games?
I'll go.
All
Give me Team OG Bloodline.
Wheels?
OGs.
Cam?
Give me the OG Bloodline.
Mike?
Man, as much as I want to go with OG, I got to go with Solo and the Bloodline. I do.
Who's his doppelganger?
Bronson Reed?
He looks like they. Yeah.
I think the way that
You don't see it?
No,
I've never thought of it.
no. I'm saying I'm talking about
To me,
Mike.
Shadow looks more
His-
like Kevin Owens, but that's just me.
I think with Mike what he's saying, like, I mean, if they play into the dysfunction of everything, that definitely gives Solo's Bloodline the edge.
I mean, I just think they have the slight upper hand right now. I mean, I know not all those And I said this earlier, but I know all the little like nuggets that get thrown in don't necessarily always mean something, like the Sami Zayn phone, like the phone thing and the way Paul Heyman's dressed and all that stuff. I know that doesn't always mean something,
Right.
but with CM Punk and Roman Reigns being a little bit at odds and Sami Zayn being thrown, like everything that's happening on the OG Bloodline side, it seems like Solo's bloodline is just a little more of a is more of a joint force, and I think them getting the win benefits them a little more because this storyline is, we all know this, the storyline is far from over, and this match is, it's going to be a great match, but I just feel like Solo's bloodline is going to win this one. I think they go up 2-0 to the OG.
Now, I know what you did there. You picked Rhea's team, so you picked the baby faces on the women's. Now you're going with the heels on the men.
I didn't even mean to do that.
That's what I did, but opposite.
Right. And that's why I'm going with the OG bloodline, because you're not going to have both heels win. You're not going to have both faces win.
Yeah.
But I can see what Mike is saying with the fractures in the OG bloodline. But I think it's going to be more of something that comes from after the match than in the match.
Yeah.
I can agree with that.
And I think that's why they're going to pull it out, because they just got back together. They kind of need to steal a victory from Solo's team. Like,
and that's
it
the
doesn't
key word.
It doesn't need to be a dominating. It doesn't need to be something where they run roughshod over the thing. It's something where they just need to like squeak the victory out so they can get the victory, but still keep the storyline building, because this storyline is nowhere near finished on either side.
And that's the key word, is steal, because right now they're not a cohesive unit where the bloodline is. So steal is the perfect word for that if they're going to win.
I mean, somebody is taking the tsunami off of that top rope, off the top of the cage. I just don't know who's doing it.
Yeah.
I don't know who would be on the bottom waiting.
Sammy?
Or is it Jacob Fatu giving him
Reed's gonna Reed's gonna hit Fatu with it?
No, I'm saying Fatu doing a moonsault instead of the tsunami.
No, I think Reed is
you
gonna
can
do
get
the tsunami.
That's wishful thinking there, sir.
I mean, the one way that they could, and with Scout saying they could steal the win, I'm just going to incorporate with what you just said. If Reed goes to go do a tsunami, but he ends up hitting somebody from his team with it, and then he gets up and Sami Zayn hits the haluva kick or something and ends up pinning and getting the win.
Or
That's
a spear gets put.
Or spear, yeah. Or double super kick by the Usos and then a spear or something.
That could be a way. And
all the finishers, I feel like most of the finishers are going to get hit in that cage.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the rundown for Survivor Series. There's only 5 matches, but that's because we have the 2 War Games matches. I felt if we would have had OK Booker T up there.
Greatest King of the Ring of all time.
If it wasn't these long matches, I feel we would have had at least another match on this card. Because don't forget, we don't have a Universal Championship match on this. They saved that for Saturday Night Main Event.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. We're not getting Cody on a pay-per-view.
See,
this is the first time, I think, since his injury, isn't it?
We're going to see him somehow. I know we will. And that's the thing. I just don't know how they incorporate it yet.
Like maybe a promo towards
Saturday Night's Main Event, little segment with him and Kevin.
Yeah, maybe a sit-down.
That was my dad.
I didn't know where that came from.
That was hilarious. I don't know what that was about, but it was my dad, and Jamie mocking him was really funny. And I'm going to say something about it to my father when I get in the living room.
Do we get any surprise returns?
Ooh.
I mean, I don't think it's a surprise, but I think The Rock does make his presence felt.
I would not be shocked if we saw The Rock. And I
But
would be
what?
shocked-
Doing this again and walking out? Like,
That's exactly what's
Ooh.
gonna happen.
oh, scary.
Oh,
Then he's
here's
gone- then
Shadow
he's gone
with
for
his
6 weeks
typical
again.
Brock Lesnar.
Honestly, I'll say this. I can kind of see it. The Lesnar thing.
Let's have a
With him
triple
getting
threat
involved
for Paul Heyman.
With him getting involved in the war game match, he comes out and does something. Then Paul's really split. Lesnar, CM Punk, Roman Reigns.
So
They do a triple threat like Paul's coming with me thing. I'm gonna laugh, and that's gonna be great.
if he was going to come back, he would have been the one that Paul brought back.
You got
I
Shadow
don't
over
care.
here
I don't care that they mentioned him in a couple weeks. Like,
trying to resurrect Paul Bearer.
yeah, and I saw that too.
Undertaker.
For as far as real as far as like a return. I mean, I
see
know
it
there's
set
a lot of,
Drew.
I know there's been a lot of chatter about Becky Lynch making her return. Maybe Becky Lynch.
Becky Lynch is going to return at the Netflix debut.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
I
now,
could see
Brock.
I could see Charlotte Flair coming back tomorrow night,
That one too. I could see that as well.
or on SmackDown after.
You
Yeah.
defeated my Undertaker.
There's been a lot of talk about her lately.
Yeah.
What is JP doing?
Yeah,
Jamie's
what's
at-
with the Paul
Yeah.
Bearer
Paul
accent?
Bearer down there, and I was kind of ignoring it until Cam just broke up.
He's summoning his
Oh, that's great.
bear.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
It's really
yeah.
good. I'm not gonna lie, it's a really good impression. But
I just kept hearing him do the voice. I'm like, what is he talking about?
See, this is interesting.
Alexa
hold on,
Bliss
Alexa
ran
Bliss
four
goes
games
up.
but it didn't
I will
make
pop. I would be very
I think
happy
she
with it.
I think she comes back in 2025.
Sources me.
Rumble,
mean-
baby.
I would save that for the first show on Netflix.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
with,
I think she's a good Rumble return.
I'm with Cam and Scows on that.
I need some surprises. I mean, I'm there in attendance. All right, so I'm hopeful.
Oh, you're gonna get some good surprises.
Oh, yeah.
I have a
We have the
feeling. That.
return of Paul
Um,
Bearer.
He's still going.
All right, Jamie. All right, Jamie. That's enough.
You're just
I
mad.
love this show.
You're just jealous, bro.
Yeah, I'm jealous that you can act like Paul Bearer. Sure.
Fat, pale, and white. I'm pretty good at it.
What is happening?
I have no clue, man.
The one person that we haven't seen in a long time, and I don't think she's near a return, is Carmella.
Carmella.
I know she's had some stuff go on afterwards that have caused her to be out. So
She's had about as many setbacks as Alexa Bliss has had.
And Asuka's still unknown because she last time that anything was done with her, she had to learn how to walk after her injury. So she's still recovering from hers.
She ain't coming. I wouldn't hold my breath. She ain't
Yeah.
coming back for a while.
Yeah, it's gonna be a
yeah,
little.
Asuka was. Yeah. I mean, I know you keep saying this, Al, but she is training in the ring.
Yeah.
They're just waiting for the right moment to bring her back.
She's put it out there that she's
And
ready.
she's put it out there that she's training. Like
Yeah. She
everything
literally put
everything that has held her back with her daughter is good now.
Yeah.
And she said that she's ready to come back anytime they're ready to call her.
Yeah, she's put it out there. She's like, I'm just waiting. She tweeted that out the other day, quoted someone's tweet.
I think I would have to stick with agreeing with the Charlotte Flair thing. If she's even the closest, because there's been a lot of talk about her or Becky Lynch. One of those.
Now that I think about it, I wouldn't be shocked if she's the one that attacked Jade.
No, it's gonna be one of three people. is going to be Lash Legend or Jakara, so she could have gotten out a match to try and be in the tournament to make an impact. It's going to be Bailey, so she can get into the War Games match, which she did. Or this is setting up the Bianca and Jade feud, and Bianca
hope
did
so.
it to her own tag team partner.
I hope so.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to say anything because, like, when we were talking about the women's war game match, I really didn't want to say anything. But if you watch Bailey's, like basically how she was in the ring during that segment tonight, she kind of gave me like that turn heel vibes.
Yeah, her mannerisms for even
Yeah.
on Monday were.
But if you watch, I was going to say, if you watch when last week when her and Naomi had the match,
Yeah.
Naomi's look when Bailey was hugging her makes
Yeah.
it look like it was Naomi more than Bailey.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm leaning to it not being Bailey as much. Maybe Naomi did it to get Bailey into the match.
Hey, I agree with that. I definitely think it's if anything, it's going to be Naomi. You know, the frustration of having these opportunities and not winning, and then Bailey pretty much leapfrogging her every turn. Yeah, I could see that. It makes a lot more sense. Bailey seemed like she just turned face. Don't turn her back to being a heel again. That doesn't make any sense at all.
Face off of
No.
Yeah, from the damage control thing before Mania.
Yeah.
No, turning her heel now would just make no sense.
I wouldn't be shocked if they redo the Triple H Shawn Michaels storyline with Jade and.
You
that's what-
read my mind, yo.
That's
I
what
was
they were-
thinking the same thing.
That's what a lot of people were alluding to online about that.
I made a TikTok about it last
You always
week.
make TikToks. Not all of them are truthful.
Wow. Jesus.
Anything else we want to talk about with War Games, Survivor Series? Anything else we think is going to happen?
No.
No.
That's all I can think of.
Anything happening Raw after Survivor Series, after SmackDown after? We think anything's going to happen on those two shows?
I think that's
No.
where we get the Charlotte debut. That or Netflix. Charlotte's going to be returning here soon.
I was about to say debuting. I was like, wait a second.
Returning.
I thought they were going to keep her for the Rumble, but if you're going to have all these other people come back, it kind of
That's a lot.
overloads it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still think they need to go to 40-person Rumble with all the talent they have in NXT.
Yeah. I like the 140 one they did in like 2012, 2011.
That's what you did. Okay. So, well, I don't know. Never mind.
No, go ahead.
Could you see a potential? What if they did this? I don't think they're gonna do this, but what if they did a some like maybe one or two NXT call-ups after Survivor Series? Who could you see potentially being ready for a call-up?
If Noam Dar is back, Metaphor, the entire group. I think Lash and Jakara would be perfect to get called up for the women's tag division.
I'd say Ethan Page.
That should have been happened if you ask me.
Yeah.
He's only been down there. It's only 4 months.
So
Yeah, but I mean, I didn't feel like he was gonna stay down there for very long. Like, he didn't need to be down there for very long.
right.
4 months is long enough.
Somebody that
So on NXT, when Andre Chase was leaving his classroom, he had a voice call down to him. And he had that look of like, I would not be shocked if Andre Chase gets called to the main roster.
Yeah, but what would he do on the main roster? Like, how would he fare? Yeah, it's Andre Chase, but you took away everything that identifies him, everything that he's tied to. He's just another guy.
Gotta figure out something.
Mike?
I mean, I'm not very big on NXT. I would never say anything bad about that because I know it's really good product. I just don't watch it much. But somebody that I think would fit on the main roster, preferably on Raw, is Shawn Spears. With his character, I think him coming up and going after somebody like a Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental title.
Yep.
They've got that faction though that he's just building, so he's not going to be called up anytime soon because they're literally building that faction with him. And I forgot who the guy who just made his TV debut
Nico.
name is. Nico and Bull Buchanan's son.
So, the one person we're all missing, and he hasn't been seen since Halloween Havoc, Obafemi.
I'm with that.
Wow.
I think he's got some
Yeah.
work to do.
Yeah, definitely.
He does not have more work to do.
No,
He
I
is
legit
ready.
forgot. It's been that long. I legitimately forgot about him.
I'd give him a run with the NXT title before he gets called up. That's just me.
I would too. Like that would be dope.
I just think if they were going to do that, he would have already been in that title picture. They wouldn't have had him sitting back for a month.
Well, that's the thing.
You
The
should
longer
have.
Unless he
the
asks
longer
for
you're
time
away,
off.
the longer we miss you, bud.
Unless he asks for time off.
What if he took time
He is
off?
not almost time. Stop it,
Oh,
Shadow.
he's not.
But what if
He is so far from
What if
Omas
that's
2.0.
that's the if he took time off and they have a
Right.
event coming up in the next couple weeks
Deadline. Right.
deadline? Yeah.
Yeah.
So what if he returns there
that's-
after the NXT title match?
That's what I'm saying. If he took time off, that's different.
Yeah.
But if WWE held him back to have him call him up,
Yeah.
that's smart.
I want Gallus to be called up.
Yeah.
I didn't even know they
That
were still a
division.
thing. I haven't heard about Gallus in a while.
They've been on NXT the last 2 weeks with these giant scrums the tag team divisions had.
I'd put them on the Raw Tag Team division stacked.
Freaking love Gallus.
Shadow's just trolling in the chat now.
Of course he is.
How do you not like Oba? Like, what do you got against Obafemi?
He doesn't watch
Oba's-
NXT.
Oba's amazing.
I was like, Shadow barely watches NXT, I feel like.
I barely watch NXT, and I still like Obafemi.
Yeah. Same.
Oh,
Who from the women's division to bring up to put him right in the mid card picture?
Gigi
Uh,
Dolan.
Fallon Henry.
I like the way you think, Wills. I
Gigi
like the way
Dolan.
you think.
Everyone knows what Cam thinks.
If Gigi didn't just come back and was put right into a tag team with Tatum Paxley,
I love that tag team.
I know it's
It's perfect.
Can I just shoot off a name?
It's
Go ahead.
perfect.
Cora Jade.
Damn
See,
right.
I was gonna say that. I was really gonna say that. Yeah.
we all know Roxanne's getting called up as soon as she loses that belt.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's past time.
it's past due for
Yeah.
sure. For sure.
I think Thea Hill's ready.
She's as much as I
Not
can
yet.
agree with you,
Not yet.
she's still too young. She needs more work down there.
I give it another year.
She just turned 21. I don't think she's ready to be on the main roster.
I give it another year. I think she'll be ready.
And isn't the Chase U faction? They're pretty much done, aren't they?
Well, we don't.
Yeah, they broke
See,
up.
that's the thing. We don't know.
Yeah.
I was going to
Because
say
at the end of
I was going to say if they were done, wouldn't you want to see Thea Hale do her own thing for a while down in NXT before even going
Exactly.
up?
Yeah.
at the end of last week when Chase was getting rid of all his stuff, someone called him out, and I don't remember if it was you, Wheels, or somebody that said that. What if it was Brody, the one that was released from WWE? Oh, it was
Oh
Phil.
yeah, that was me.
That was you?
Yeah.
Yeah. What if it was Brody calling him back, the original person of Chase U,
Yeah, Brody Hayward.
and they have a conversation and he finds a way to get it back, or something start up a different way. But
Or just be a tag team guy.
I think we had a pretty good show tonight. Went over a little over an hour.
Yeah.
I mean, I could keep going. We can book the territory, brother. I mean,
Okay.
Yeah, no thanks.
I'm here. Hey, just tell me y'all hate me. That's cool too.
No one said that.
Y'all don't want to talk to
Put
me.
words
That's
in our
all right.
mouth. Don't put words in.
But all right. Wheels, where can we find you?
MJ Duplessis 1992 on all my social medias. You can catch me here every once in a while when the shows need a backup. I'm like Jason Terry on the 6th string on the bench. Also on World Championship Wreckage with Queen's Court with Husky Harris and Bree Stout, the Treble Queen.
Jamie?
You can find me at Jimmy Rose PW on all my socials and watch Diamond State Wrestling. With that being said, you can find me here on Friday Night Review. I'm trying to be here more often. You're my guys. But with that being said, KMG, where can we find you?
No, don't do that. Don't do that. You throw me off when you do that.
I love doing it.
All right, Mike?
Metal Mike 714 all across the socials. As far as on the network here, every Sunday morning, 11 a.m. Eastern, with Johnny H on Rivet City Red Zone this week. Mike's going to be on with me as my co-host in place of John, because John's going to be off this week. Every Monday night with Cam on the table spot after Monday Night Raw at 10:15 p.m. Eastern, and on the Boom with Cam and Phil after AEW Dynamite at 10:15 p.m. Eastern.
Cam?
You can find me, of course, right here every single Friday night on Friday Night Review with me and Scouse, and occasionally Jamie Rose. And then, of course, on our sister page on River City Radio every single Monday night with me and Metalcore Mike with a table spot after Monday Night Raw. Then, of course, on Wednesday night, every single Wednesday night on River City Radio with another edition of The Boom with me, of course, Metalcore Mike and Phil Kahn. And then on my socials, you can find me on TikTok there at Call Me CamG, and, of course, Cam's Wrestling Corner. You can find me on Twitter/X at CamandCheese317. And if that does not sizzle your bacon, you can find me on Instagram at 317 Bacon, Eggs, and Cam.
I am Scals. You can find me here on Friday Night Review with Cam and Jamie, as well as on Tuesday nights exclusively on our YouTube page for NXT on Tap with Phil the Future. And then you can find me across all different socials. TikTok, Twitter, Instagram is at _, and Twitch and YouTube is at _. I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. I appreciate y'all's support, and catch y'all soon. Have a great evening.
Oh, yes.